guys, it's Joanie. I'm just starting this YouTube just because I want to document whenever I get back in shape after having this baby. You can't really see right now. Now you can. It's a baby. So, after I have a baby, I'm going to go ahead and try and document everything that I am doing to get back in shape because I always have a lot of questions. And it's just easier to do it in a big, broad kind of spectrum than kind of answering each individual message. Plus, I feel like you can get a lot more out of it because you're going to be able to watch what I do every day, what I eat, how I kind of live the healthy lifestyle while taking care of 2 kids and a giant husband kid. Let me know in the comments what you want to see, what you want to find out. My husband's also doing a fat to fit kind of thing because he does have what it takes to get really lean, and he has before last year. But then he also had what happens to a lot of people. He kind of fizzled out, stress got in the way, life got in the way. We found out we were pregnant, a bunch of other stuff happened. So he kind of fell off and gave up, and he kind of lost his passion for a little bit. He's getting it back. So, if you want to watch his stuff, it's going to be JRevoFit. It's going to be on another YouTube. I'll link him into mine, and he's also on my Instagram. He's kind of my inspiration for starting the YouTube because it's such a good way to reach out to people, and I feel like a lot of people can benefit from it because I know it's something that a lot of women are going to go through, having a baby. You don't want to lose your body. You don't want to never be fit again. You never want to think that you can't have that body that you had before baby, or that you've never even had before. I got more into fitness after my baby and had abs and everything after I already had a child. I am going to start this YouTube channel. We'll see how it goes. I'm not very good on camera, I don't feel like, but I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable and confident now that I don't have braced face. Because I had clear brackets, so you can really see them in pictures and stuff, but when I talked, I felt like they looked like Huggle Monster teeth, like they were sticking out really far. I'll put a picture if I can figure that out. I'm going to start the YouTube channels. He is starting his before I'm starting mine, or maybe at the same time, but I won't get into all the fitnessy stuff because the last week of pregnancy, I'm probably not going to be counting my macros as well as I should. I've tried to throughout the whole pregnancy. I've tried to eat clean. I tried doing my macros at the beginning, but it is a lot more difficult just when you know that you're not going to get to a certain point, like you're just trying to stay healthy. So I kind of moved into more of an intuitive eating style, which basically just because I've been on macros for so long, I kind of have a general idea of what my body needs to function the way that it needs to. So I kind of know my protein intake. I know how many carbs not to go over. Like I can visually see like a sweet potato and know how much of it I need to eat, or see like a pizza and know that I don't need the whole thing. I also have gotten really good at kind of switching things out. Like if I want to have ice cream one day, then I'm definitely not going to have another carb. I'm not going to go carb crazy with cereal or sweet potatoes or brown rice or something else that's carby. I'll stick to more of the that one little cheat, but it'll take away from other carbs that I'm eating. And I'll go into that more, especially whenever I start doing my macros, about which foods you can take out and which ones you can switch with, and what works best in that case. Anyway, hopefully the delivery, everything goes well with that, and I'll be able to be back, and we can start this whole YouTube thing full on by April-ish, and then I can start keeping up with the videos and stuff. Of course, I'll have a newborn, so you'll have to kind of give me some slack because if you've ever had a baby, you know that they're very unpredictable. I don't know what to expect, if he's going to be a good sleeper, if he's going to be an awake baby, if he's going to have colic, if he's going to be grumpy, if he's going to be smooth and it's going to be easy. I don't know. My daughter was really easy, and that kind of scares me because then I feel like maybe this one's going to be terrible. Or maybe they'll both just be great. That's what I'm hoping for. I know that my husband gave a little bit of a background history on who we are and what we do. If you haven't watched his is kind of like his side of it, but my side is is basically the same thing. I was with him before we ever even started a gym or a supplement shop. He opened the supplement shop on his own. That's what he wanted to do when he moved back to his hometown. I'm not from this city or this area. I'm from Corpus. I moved to Houston, and I was finishing up school, and he was kind of starting the business here, but I was literally here every day. Like, I went to school 3 or 4 days a week. I lived in downtown Houston in the medical field, and I was going to U of H, and I would drive down for the other days, and I would stay with him the whole time to help him kind of run the shop. He would drive up. He was going to, I think, maybe 2 full days of classes or something. I don't know. We drove. It was crazy. We didn't sleep very much. We were here, and within like 6 months, I want to say, that's whenever we decided that the gym in this town was terrible, and not terrible, it just wasn't our style. So he came up with the idea to open a gym, and I completely supported him 100%. I've always supported everything that he's done because, you know, I love him, and he makes me happy, and I trust him fully. He's always had a good head on his shoulders. Like, I trust him 100%. So when he wanted to open the gym, I was behind him all the way. I was with him day and night, 7 days a week. We were working on the gym to open it. He rebuilt the entire thing. It's where he found his background knowledge for the construction work he does now. He rebuilt the first gym we were in. And again, if you watch his, our timelines may not be exactly on point just because we don't really remember. I mean, if I got a calendar out, I could say it. But we were there maybe a year, maybe 2. We had my daughter whenever we were still at the first gym. It was a small little gym. It was a step up from our first place, which was only like 500 square feet. It was really, really, really tiny. The second place was maybe like 2,000 or 1,000 square. I don't even know. I don't know. So there, we grew out of it. It was like kind of a warehouse style gym, so it was really hot in the back, which was a great atmosphere in the fall, in the spring, but not so much in the Texas heat or in our freezing cold Texas winters where no one is used to 40 degrees or 30 degrees. So we moved gyms, and we went to one that was twice as big. We had an amazing opportunity, so we took it and ran with it, and, you know, the gym flourished. We had an inside part for our cardio and our classes, and we had an outside part that still had that hardcore atmosphere. We started the RevoFit back in maybe like 2012, I want to say, maybe. And we had such a good turnout with that class almost allowed us to make our second move when we got the opportunity. So we moved into this building that I'll show you in just a second, which is so much better and nicer. It's all AC'd, climate controlled, so we don't have to worry about that. I do miss the whole warehouse thing. Maybe we'll put a gym in the back someday too, like outside portion. But for now, it's just so much nicer not to have to worry about if it's going to be hot, if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be rainy and muggy. From there, we never like to be complacent. We never like to stay just, you know, kind of stagnant. So we've reinvested almost everything that we've ever made back into our gym, which allowed us to expand as much as we have. You know, what I said about his stress and everything, we've invested so much and then kind of had a few setbacks this year, which of course would happen as soon as we found out that we were going to have a second baby. We tried for 1.5 years when everything was great, everything was going wonderfully, then everything started falling apart, and poof, you know, God has other plans. That's the one beautiful thing that happened in the whole wreckage of everything. It's where we're at. Everything is better now. We are about to have our second baby, a little baby boy. My fitness journey, I started off lifting. I was in high school. I did a few sports, but I'm terrible at coordination and the whole catching a ball before it hits your face kind of stuff. So I did powerlifting and track in high school, and I'm really short, so running wasn't I'm kind of fast, but not for like a little bitty person. I feel like those long legs have huge advantage on that. So I did powerlifting mostly. I was in the 97, 96 pound weight class, and that's kind of where I fell in love with it. So I didn't meet Jacob and then just suddenly want to do what he was doing. I enjoyed it before any of that. I also did cheerleading in high school, and then I also did it in college as well until the end of my sophomore year when I moved to Houston to go to U of H. Thought about trying out But at the time, I was helping Jacob already with the company, so I decided not to. In college, we had a personal trainer, Dave, and he would kill us, always. I didn't really know what was working what. We kind of just did what he said when he said to do it. Into college, I did all that, and then I met Jacob. He was in love with the gym, so I kind of started tagging along, watching at the Gold's Gym, and I enjoyed it more and more. He was really into like the bodybuilding and just getting big kind of phase, so I wasn't as much into like me doing that. I didn't know that there was the whole bikini portion. I knew there were like bodybuilding women, but I didn't think of that being for me, especially only being like 96 pounds and 5 foot tall. And then slowly throughout the next year, I started seeing more and more that there was this sport for bikini for NPC, which is in the same bodybuilding league. So I started getting excited about that. Like there was something I could join in, that I could lift, and I could work out, and I could change and shape my body. It looked really fun. I did the Miss Texas pageant in 2000, and I'm terrible at times. 2000, maybe 11, 10, 9, I'm not sure. But the only part of that I really enjoyed was the bikini part. Not because I wanted to just show off that I was just in a bikini, but because, I dieted for that. I did the treadmill for that. I did the elliptical. Like, I lifted small weights. Like, I worked hard to be lean enough in that picture to where I felt like I did really good in that portion. Not so much in the public speaking or the evening gown or looking like a runway model. But I enjoyed the part that I could control. So whenever I found out that there was a league that I could control how the outcome was by how hard I worked, not just by like physical, what I looked like, I ran with it and I loved it. I went ahead and shot for that. Like, I was thinking in the back of my head, this is what I want to do. I'm going to work out. I'm going to build my quads. I'm going to build my butt. I'm going to have like some kind of shape in my arms. And I got pregnant with my daughter. So I went through that pregnancy. I had gained a little bit of knowledge just because I had wanted to do it before. That while I was pregnant, I did like all my research on women and what we should eat and how we should work out and how we should train and how we should lift. And I actually got a little book and I wrote down everything. Yeah, I studied the entire pregnancy. I was like a horse car, something right outside the gates, ready to like take off as soon as I was released from my doctor. And that's what I did. As soon as I hit that 6 weeks, like, I loved my daughter. I spent as much time as I could with her. I was going to school full time. I was still helping run in the gym. By this time, I was living over here, and I had a 45-minute to an hour commute every single day to finish school, because that was really important to me and to my grandparents who raised me, to finish school even though I had a child. Even though I don't even use that degree. It's there. And it actually has helped me with my clients. I have a degree in education, so I'm good at teaching, which whenever you want to train someone, you want to teach them at the same time. You don't want to just, throw it at them and then leave there with nothing. Hopefully all my clients have gained some knowledge, even once they're on their own, or they had to move, or they had to quit for financial reasons, whatever the reason. I hope they took something with. Getting off subject. I would get off school at maybe 4 or 5, and I would drive back, and I would go straight back to the gym. I'd work out for 45 minutes, and I would go pick up our daughter, come back, and help him close the gym, and then go back home, get her ready for bed, maybe go to bed by like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then be up again at 5 to make the commute all the way back to school. And on top of that, breastfeeding for 7 months doesn't let your sleep be consistent. It kind of chops it up as much as it can. Like, that's what I think she liked to do. Just see me every hour on the hour. Maybe she just missed me. So yeah, but I never made an excuse. I wanted it so bad that I fit those like 45 minutes. Like, all day during the day, I was working. I would take my food with me. I would meal prep beforehand. On Sundays, I'd have all these little tubs set up, and I would take them with me. It was just like, veggie, chicken, and these little sweet potato patties. They're like this big, and it was frozen solid, so I would toss it into my lunch and be like the freezer until 10 o'clock when I could eat lunch. And it'd be thawed out, and I'd just pop it in the microwave, and it would work perfect. I was breastfeeding, so I don't know the exact timeline. I wasn't as good on my diet as I could have been, only because I was so scared that my milk supply would dry up, and then I wouldn't be able to feed my baby, and I'd feel terrible. So I was eating clean, but then I also may have been overeating, undereating. This time I'm going to try and count my macros so that way I can know that I'm eating enough to feed myself and to feed my baby. But also not overeating, so I don't have a surplus and I'm not going to keep all that baby weight or gain excess weight, which would be terrible. So I'm going to keep a lot better track on that, just because I know how now. So it took me about 7 months to probably see my abs for the first time. 7 or 8 months. And that was the first time even seeing my abs, was about 8 months, 7, 8 months after I had my daughter. I had always had like maybe this I always had a flat stomach. I was always tiny, but it was never a small waist, ripped abs, ever. Like I'd never even seen that in person. Anyways, a year later, I did my first show. I got 5th place at the Branch Warren, which is a pretty big show. I was really happy with it. I knew I didn't have enough muscle to compete. I still look itty bitty on stage, but I am itty bitty, so I know I have to work. Like my body's just a lot smaller, so even if I had as much muscle mass as someone else, like I feel like I would still look tiny on stage, and I'm working very hard to move past that. Promise you, if you see me in person, I'm not as big as you probably think I am. I'm probably a little bit smaller. Anyway, and I kept dieting. I was already tiny. I kept dieting, thinking, maybe I just need to be leaner for the next show. I just need to be leaner. And no, I got skinnier, and I did worse and worse and worse at the next few shows I did. So then I took 8 months off. I did again, was so set on having that goal that I was able to put on 5 or 6, 7 pounds of muscle. And again, because I'm so small, that looked like a huge difference. So instead of dieting down, being 95 pounds, I dieted down and was like 101 pounds. Since then, now when I diet down, I think I'm about 104, 105. My ultimate goal is maybe 110, 112, like ripped lean. That way I could have bigger shoulders, bigger legs a little bit, bigger butt, all that stuff. Ultimate goal in the future, this next round, I'm going to focus on losing my body fat that I gained during pregnancy, and then I'm going to focus on building what muscle I may have lost just because I wasn't able to lift the way that I'm used to lifting when I was pregnant. I feel like I did really well, but simply because I have a 30-pound weight attached to my stomach, I wasn't able to squat with weight. I guess I might kind of have weight, but it's not the same thing. And then I also couldn't do my hamstrings as well, just because I had so much weight pulling in the front, it hit more of my lower back. It was like I was constantly holding the weight in the wrong position, like doing the wrong form, but I couldn't help it. And then I couldn't do laying down hamstring curls, so I did cable hamstring curls. Again, not the same thing. It's fine. I'm fine. I know that I can build it back up, muscle memory, and I have a good work ethic, so I'll be fine. And I will show you guys. So I'm kind of going to be starting in a place that I feel like a lot of women are at, just because you may not have had a child, or maybe you did and you never got back in shape. The point being, most women aren't where they want to be, and I'm definitely not, or won't be, where I want to be even a month, 6 weeks after I have my baby. So I think it'll be fun to kind of include you guys. If y'all want to ask questions, I really encourage questions, because I don't know what all you want to see. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, so I don't know what other people do, and I haven't found a lot of like mom stuff that's not just only focused on being a mom. Like, number one, I am a mom to both my babies, but I'm also a person, and I love fitness, so they come number one. But I don't believe that I should just throw myself to the curb. Does that make sense without sounding mean? I just really haven't found another YouTube like that's similar to what I want to do, and I feel like a lot of moms might feel like that. Like, you don't want to just be in that category where just because you're a mom, you can only get like so far. No, I want to be a mom, and I also want to be an IFBB Pro bikini athlete someday. Anyway, I have to go because I have to be in work. It's right there. And because my cat battery on my phone, it keeps overheating, and I keep having to turn it off, and it's driving me crazy, and I don't want it to break it, and then I can't do this. I'll show you the gym. Okay, so here's the gym. I can't see what you're looking at. There's one half, and then it comes this way. There's my little sloth, and then it goes over there. There's the front door. It doesn't look like the front door yet. I need a big sign. But this is closer to the road, so this has this. Anyways, I'm gonna go inside. I have a client coming in like 30 minutes. I have some other work stuff I need to do. Never stops. And then I'll probably talk to y'all again in the next one because I feel like this is gonna be really, really long. But for my first vlog, there it is. This is what I'm gonna be about. This is what we're gonna do. I'll think of a catchy slogan later. Say bye.